Midnight Movie Review. I think the best thing about Thor Dark World coming out is that you finally have an excuse to go to the movies and not see Gravity. I think one of the best things about Thor The Dark World is that it feels like a proper introduction to this Phase 2 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, we had Iron Man 3, and while the more I've thought about it, the more Iron Man 3's kind of grown on me, it didn't feel like a really good, epic introduction into this next stage of the Marvel movies, going up to Avengers Age of Ultron. Thor, however, does feel like that introduction, like the movie that is a proper follow-up to Avengers. Yes, Iron Man did follow up on Avengers, and the events of Avengers were very important, but Thor just feels grander, and that's one of the things that's kind of interesting about this Thor movie, is that the first Thor movie had this like supposed stateliness because it was Kenneth Branagh, and it was the first Thor movie with ASGARDIANS, and they're this higher beings and stuff. But in the end, Thor was only okay. I mean, Captain America was a better pre-Avengers movie than Thor was, but this movie, Thor Dark World, is awesome, and it's awesome for a lot of different reasons. In Thor The Dark World, we have this big sweeping story, and the movie doesn't forget to let the characters be the characters and have these great little moments with each other. And that's one of the things that Thor The Dark World does really, really well. It does the big stuff and the little stuff with pretty good balance. The movie does a really, really good job of also managing how much time we spend with the characters, and really gives all the characters a really good moment to shine. It's almost like Avenger-esque in how it manages those characters and the screen time that they get and what they get to do. It's really cool to see characters that were kind of left behind in the first Thor movie get to have their moments, and it gets a few new characters, which is also very cool. And the other thing about this movie is that they really do have some big stakes, and there's a big problem that really only Thor can handle. And one of the great things about Thor The Dark World, and actually the first movie, is that it feels different than the other Marvel movies. Thor and Thor The Dark World both have these very unique villains and problems and the way things look. And I think that's really cool that Thor has managed to keep his identity as far as like the Thor universe and the ASGARDIANS, and that these are problems that really only Thor can handle. And they feel a lot like the Norse mythology that Thor is based on. In the first movie, he was fighting frost giants, and in this movie, he's fighting dark elves. Granted, they're alien dark elves, but the feeling is still there. And in this movie, where Chris Hemsworth puts forth his best Thor performance yet, even better than in Avengers, Tom Hiddleston's Loki still manages to steal the show. Loki is still the best, and you do get to see him in this movie, and it's very cool. There's lots of little moments with him and Thor, and you never really know if you're going to trust him. It's really fun, and that's what makes this movie really great, is that it is a lot of fun. Everything about it is just tons and tons of fun. Does it have issues? Yes. But there's so much good that good manages to overcome whatever pacing or other nitpicks you might have. This is a really good movie, and along with the other good things that it does, it manages to keep the connections to the other Marvel movies, but not lose itself. And I think that was the biggest problem with Iron Man 2, was that it was too connected to the S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff. You really didn't get much of Iron Man. That was the movie where we were supposed to get Demon in the bottle, but we didn't. Thor The Dark World manages to keep those connections to the other movies, but never lets you forget that this is a Thor movie. Oh, and yes, there is a post-credit scene. There's two, actually. One of them, the mid-credit scene, as I guess it's called now, is a connection to the other movies, and I won't spoil it, but it is very cool, and it will get you excited for the next round of movies that are coming out. And the very last credit scene is something that's connected specifically to this movie, but is still cute, and you should still stick around for it. Well, that's all I've got for now. As far as Marvel movies coming out, we've got Captain America in April, and then Guardians of the Galaxy in the summer, and I seriously can't wait for that one. That is the movie that I'm most excited about in 2014. And we will see you guys next time. Bye.